Kenya. Rita, very good afternoon to you. We understand that there is a closed-door meeting between the NASA presidential candidate, his deputy, and the IEBC chairperson.
Well, there was such a meeting. That meeting took just over an hour. What happened is that the NASA principals, all four of them, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, as well as Moses Wetangula, several other leaders, among them James Orengo, as well as NASA lawyers, including Paul Mwangi, arrived here at the Bomas of Kenya some 20 minutes to midday. They all went into one room, but after some minutes, the other leaders left, leaving only the presidential candidate. The IEBC says today it is dealing with presidential candidates. Even President Uhuru Kenyatta, when he comes here, he's just coming as a presidential candidate. And so when the other leaders left that room, then the meeting took place, a meeting just between four people: the IEBC chairperson, Wafula Chebukati, his deputy, Connie Maina, and then now the NASA flag bearer, Raila Odinga, and his running mate, Kalonzo Musyoka. That meeting is the one I mentioned that took just over an hour. It has ended. It took place at the VIP lounge just in front of me, but now the meeting is taking place behind me, and that is involving the IEBC chairperson, the vice, other commissioners, as well as all the NASA leaders, now including the other principals, as well as the other leaders, including James Orengo. As I had mentioned, we have no indication yet how long that meeting will take, but we are expecting to have a briefing on what they discussed. But the IEBC had indicated that it is not a mediator in this case. There were questions as to whether President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga would be meeting the IEBC together. The IEBC saying we are not at war. They will not be trying to negotiate anything between the two sides. But this is a meeting. What they say is when they met between the four of them, the IEBC was briefing the candidate and his running mate about the preparations, how far the IEBC has gone and what has been done, what is yet to be done, as well as hearing the concerns from the NASA side. Those same concerns are now being discussed by a larger team of the NASA leaders, as well as the commission now, including all the commissioners. Remember, NASA has its demands to the IEBC. Many of them have not been fulfilled. For instance, the request that Al Ghurair, which printed ballot papers for the general election, be replaced by another firm to print ballot papers for the repeat presidential poll. That request will not be happening. The IEBC saying they had a 2-year existing contract with the Al Ghurair, and so Al Ghurair will still be printing ballot papers. There is the issue of OT Morpho. It provided the KIMS kits for the August 8th elections, and it will still be providing the kits this time round, though configured as contract was signed last week between that firm and the IEBC. So many of the concerns from NASA to the IEBC have not been addressed, though some of them have been sorted out. There was the issue of gazetting polling stations. IEBC has indicated that will happen. There was also the issue of having media houses allowed to cover the transmission of results. That as well will happen, but we'll wait to see if they will come to a common ground. This morning on its Twitter handle, the IEBC had indicated that today's meeting will try and get a common understanding from both sides. So this afternoon, Akisa Wandera, we are expecting President Uhuru Kenyatta to be here. We are told he will come at around 3 p.m. and their same arrangement will apply. The chairman of the IEBC and his deputy, as well as Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, the four of them will first go into a meeting. And if then the Jubilee side will have involved other leaders who will be coming here, then after that meeting between the four, then they can be able to brief other Jubilee leaders who will have come. And the IEBC, as I mentioned, is indicating that here it is dealing with presidential candidates alone. And if the situation around here is anything to go by, when President Uhuru Kenyatta is going somewhere, you would get an indication that the president is about to come. There would be a red carpet. His official seat would have been delivered by now. Security personnel would be all over the place. Some security personnel are here. We are told that the president confirmed that he would be attending today's meeting, so we'll wait to see whether he will honor that invite by the IEBC this afternoon. But for now, we are waiting for the NASA team to conclude that meeting with the IEBC and get a briefing from them. Akisa.
And definitely we'll be coming back to you momentarily once that meeting is over. Rita Tinina, our senior reporter, joining us live there from the Bomas of Kenya, where the meeting between IEBC chairperson, his deputy, as well as NASA leader Raila Odinga and his running mate Kalonzo Musyoka is currently ongoing. President Uhuru Kenyatta is still expected to make way to the Bomas of